there, ladies and gents, I got a story for you, and it's the one of these.
Spicy story.
Title of this story is, Am I the Astronaut for Convincing My Girlfriend to Abandon Her Child So We Can Be Together? I, 32 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 28 female, for a little over 2 years. When we first met, she was a single mom to a 7-year-old boy from a previous relationship. She never planned on being a mother and had him due to unfortunate circumstances. She's always been upfront that she felt trapped by motherhood and didn't have much of a bond with her son. Boop. Red flag number 1. As we got more serious, she started expressing how much she wanted a fresh start, a life where she wasn't held back by her past. She felt guilty about it, but admitted that raising her son alone had taken a huge toll on her mentally and financially. I told her that if she truly felt that way, she should consider other options, including giving full custody to her ex, who has always wanted more involvement, or even a close relative like her mother, who has her son for the majority of the time anyway due to her job. He had been asking for it for a while, and she just didn't seem ready to be a mom. She told me she didn't feel like she was cut out for it, and after hearing how much stress it was causing her, I thought giving him a stable home with his dad would be the best for everyone. After a lot of discussion and hesitation, which lasted months, she had finally made the decision to give full custody to her ex, move to a new city with me. Her company had opened up a new branch there, so she had to move anyway and start over. She says she feels relieved, like a weight has been lifted off her shoulders. But now everyone in her life is calling her a terrible person, saying that I manipulated her into abandoning her child. Even though I never forced her, they see me as a villain for convincing her. Now, a few weeks later, her son called her. He was crying. He said he missed her and didn't understand why she wasn't there anymore. Hearing that completely crushed her. She's been really upset, and honestly, I'm torn up too. I thought I was helping, but now I'm questioning everything. I feel like I made the wrong decision, like I pushed her into something that's hurting both of them. What could be giving you that clue? What freaking Drano diet have you been on that at any point in time where you were like, this seems like the smartest thing to do? It seems smart. And not understand that in the same breath of suggesting that, telling her that she should move to a new city with you. Update. Me and my girlfriend read through the comments. I realized I was an asshole here by encouraging her irrational thoughts about upping and leaving. I think you did a little more than encourage her irrational thoughts, sir. You planted seeds and watered them on the daily and then harvested that shit. You might be a little more responsible than just encouraging her thoughts. My girlfriend had a long talk with her son and her ex today about what she did and how much she regrets it. She's going to be calling him her son daily now to keep contact, but she can't move back just yet since she's still helping in setting up the new branch in this city. But she'll move back as soon as possible because she loves her son. I'll move back with her because I want whatever she wants. She's going to look for a therapist too. That's the end of the story. That's the end of the story. Okay. Hey, I think, buddy, we've established that maybe you aren't the best thing for her. Maybe what you did here is damaging enough that I can't be the only one seeing this, and her entire family and everybody connected to this kid's life has to see this as well. They do, because they already said that you were the villain for convincing her to do this. You did. There's no way that you can look at this and say, I did not plant these seeds and water them and harvest them. There's no way that you cannot say that. No, I understand what you're saying. You're talking to a person that you love and their mental health is suffering, and you propose a possible solution and you think it's this pure thing, but understand that you can't just make and throw out these ideas that affect children. This is real life with real consequences. And guess what? Being a parent is hard. Being a young parent, harder. I did find it interesting though. She said raising him all on her own has been extremely taxing on her mentally and financially. But then you talked about how her son is with her mom most of the time because of work, and how the child's dad was involved and wanted to be more involved. So exactly how all on her own was she? It's a fustercluck. And to have this person now who is like, I want what she wants. Yeah, we got that. You know what? Because here's the deal, though. To be a true partner to somebody, you have to also be, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of a filter, right? You have to be an idea board. You have to be someone that they can bounce ideas off of, and a safe space where they can say the shit they can't say around anybody else. That does not mean it is your duty to enable everything they say. It does not mean it is your job to make every dark wish they have come true. She comes home exhausted one day and was like, you ever think about just leaving it all behind and moving out into the mountains? Next day, this guy's hauling their asses out to the mountains. Everybody gets fried. Encouraging somebody to take their fried and abandon their child can be seen as nothing but shitty ass con one behavior, in my opinion. Good point here, Lady Artemis. It is an ESH. Well, not everybody in the story. The child obviously doesn't suck. The ex doesn't suck because the ex wanted to be more involved and got more involved. The mom doesn't suck because she's involved. She cares. She took him in whenever OP's girlfriend just off and left. But OP and the girlfriend both suck pretty bad. Tater, thoughts?
You nailed it.
Come on up. We got to get your opinion here because okay, so on the dude's side, it is very easy to be like team partner, right? I'm team Candy all the way. And if Candy Thunder like has a problem or says something, I'm going to do my best to do the right thing for her. There's a difference between doing what she wants and doing the right thing for her. And I think that's where you're missing a little bit of maybe life experience, OP, because you may, if I enabled every single whim that you had when you had it, we'd have a house full of kittens and puppies. Right?
That's still happening, by the way. No, I understand, and I agree with everything that you're saying. You don't need a partner that's going to bend to your every whim, to your every will. You need a partner that's going to be there for you in everything that you need. And this was not that. And I actually don't blame him. He was a bad influence. She allowed herself to be influenced by his bad behavior.
You don't blame him for what happened.
I do not. I blame the mom.
She had to make that choice, right? He didn't force her. He didn't force her to do it. Yep. She's.
Here's what I do know, and being a single parent, I know that it's really hard. And there are times when you really want to just be like, what am I doing? Why am I doing? This is so hard. But you don't walk away, because every time you fall down, you pick yourself back up and you do what's right by your child because you chose to bring that child into this world in whatever way you brought them into this world. And you don't get to just give them back. You don't return to sender. You don't drop them on somebody else's doorstep. You do what's right for your child because that's what you promised to do when you brought them into this world. And as a mom, I'm not going to just let some guy walk into my life and feed into those intrusive thoughts and just allow me to abandon the one person in this world who is depending on me for their life. I would never ever allow someone to walk in my life and do that to me. And if they even had those thoughts, if they entertained those thoughts, if they came to me like this guy came to her, you get the fuck out of my life. I don't want any part of you because you are not good for me. Telling me that I need to walk away from my child is not good for me. Telling me to do my job and be there for my child is something that you need. And sometimes you need tough love. And I 100% support that. And this woman was capable of being a parent. She needed more. She had support. She said that her mom had the child most of the time.
Yeah. Well, look, a true partnership looks like this. If one parent walks in and was like, I'm so mentally fried, I just can't. Mm-hmm. The other one says, take a break. I got this.
Exactly. But
helping wasn't an option here. And also,
right,
you have a responsibility to think long term and not think about the morphine effect here. The morphine effect of momentarily solving or feeling like your problem is solved, but it's just a placebo, right? There's no, the problem isn't solved because now you've caused even more long-term damage. This child is now going to have issues for life.
Abandonment
Mom's going to have issues for the rest of her life as well. Right. The ripple effect from this is going to be massive. And this is what happens whenever idiot people start making decisions that affect families.
You know, this is actually one of the, I don't think that this guy has kids, obviously, or else he wouldn't have given this recommendation.
Or if he does, he doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We had the question was, parents or people who have never had kids, who's going to give the best parenting advice?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's part of the Imperfect Storms podcast.
Yes, that was one of the questions. And It was an unpopular opinion that stating that people who don't have kids would give better advice than people who had kids as for parents. And here's a story that 100% goes against that unpopular opinion, because this guy had no idea the ramifications of what he was doing to a child and telling her to just abandon her child. I don't think that there's any parent who's ever said they haven't had a hard day or they haven't wanted to walk away, because it's difficult. It's hard.
Everybody gets pushed to the edge.
And I don't think that we should fault ourselves for having those thoughts, but I think it's what you do with those thoughts that really defines who you are as a person and who you are as a parent.
Yeah.
And this woman made a huge mistake, and I hope that she fixes the mistake that she's made.
I don't know that there's true fixing it. I think there's...
No, she's done damage.
I think you can come back to 75% at best.
Right.
Also, this, speaking of OP's girlfriend now, should give you a really good clue into how this person will live the rest of their life. It's all about short-term decision making, right? What decision will bring me the most pleasure right now, ignoring any kind of pain it's going to cause anybody else. Look at that. So this is, I would not expect any kind of stability from somebody like this.
No, and thankfully that the child had family. Thankfully they had the other parent that wanted to step up for them, the mom, the grandma that was there for them.
Because they would have ended up in the system.
I don't know. For me personally, I can't look at my 7-year-old child and say, this is just too hard. Like, I can't do this. Do I have those thoughts? Yes. But am I going to allow myself to do that? No. I would never listen to that. I would never allow the voice inside my head to tell me that I can't be the mom that I want to be.